Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Motorsport for some multiplayer races. For this session, we were using B-class cars. However, they had to be front-wheel drive, they couldn't be fitted with race tyres, weren't allowed engine swaps or wide body kits. The reason for those regulations was to try and make a whole bunch of vehicles competitive in theory. To give just a variety. I went with the Megane, the R26. I love this car. It's been great fun to drive on Horizon games, and I figured it would work pretty well for this set of regulations. For our first race, we are a long way back on the grid. We are at Yas Marina at one of the short laps. It's the South Circuit. Yeah, it's a long way back for us. However, I'm hoping the Megane might not work too badly here. It's a little bit more of a handling car than a speed car, although it isn't the worst. I haven't got aero on it this time to try and make up for potentially a little bit of the lack of speed. I love this car. In Forza games, it has been monumentally good, so I'm hoping it will continue that. Oh, Chris with a bit of a bump on a Clio. We will not look around the outside here. What I want to do, well, I was going to try and cut underneath the Clio. Everyone's getting stacked up heading towards the hotel section. It's getting very busy here. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just pick a line, stick to it, hope you can get yourself through it, which we have done here. Yeah, we've come out the other side relatively okay. Oh, someone has had an off into... It's actually quite easy, even in a front-wheel drive car, surprisingly easy to get things crossed up coming into that final corner, because you kind of... The weight transfer goes as you turn for a very fast right-hander, and then you immediately have to get on the brakes, and the car kind of swings around. So yeah, you might see some of these front-wheel drives getting upset at that particular corner. I mean, I can have some speed here, but I don't quite know where I'm going to put the car. The answer is to the inside of 4 wide. I'm going to try and sneak past Ewan there if we can, which we did make successfully work. The Alfa Romeo has a mighty, mighty wing up in front of us. Can we sweep around the outside of Javi here? We can, but then I run into a wall of Alfa trying to clear the Renault. There was almost a little bit of a gap there. The Alfa Romeo's trying to find a way past the Dodge. I am a smidge stuck here, but it's fine. We'll come out the other side, this time in one piece. And we're not winning this race from as far back on the grid as we were. It was always going to be difficult anyway. Can we cut underneath the Alfa for a good exit? Now, I don't know how I fare in terms of straight line speed here compared to these cars. We're not as quick as the FTO, that's not a surprise. The Alfa Romeo they've all got a little bit more speed than me down here. That's all right. We know we've got very, very good handling. We're going to try send it. So I was trying to go around the outside of the Alfa, but then we've got a Neon on the outside of us. We're going to try and give everyone space. We've got a little bit of a lock-up actually into the first corner there. We will keep the place for now. The Alfa Romeo can have a look. I don't think it's realistically going to get around the outside there. We will get slowed heading towards the fiddly section, but it's still mighty busy up in front here. I'm hoping we can catch that group. What we need is a little bit of peace. We need a little bit of alone time here to focus on catching the vehicles ahead. Where we're not having to attack, not having to defend. We can use all of the track and everything, and it might... I don't think this is really the track for the Megane necessarily. I don't think it's too bad here. We have made a gap. We've done the critical bit. Gliska's got through with the FTO. That thing's quick down the straights. But yeah, we've got ourselves a little bit of room here. So now we can find a way to beans it all up and have an accident completely on our own and ruin our chance of catching the group ahead, knowing me. Oh, that's a lot of understeer. I tried to get on the power a little bit too soon. There's that chirp of wheel spin as I tried to get the power down. Up ahead looks like the Astra was having a go to the inside of the Alfa Romeo, but you can't miss that mighty wing. It is seriously impressive on the back of the Alphas. I don't know why it's got that. I don't think that was even... Was the Juliet? Was it used in TCR? So it was in BTCC, but it didn't have a big wing. Don't know where that wing's come from, but it's curious either way. So I got no wing. No wing on this. The goal to maximise some straight line speed for my car by having no aero there. I mean, we've done an all right lap. We're not as fast as the leader. They're in a Celica. We're not. Celica's just damn good in this game. And then we've got this huge, huge group of cars all together. We will run a little bit neater into turn 1 this time around as the lights come on. Yeah, I messed around with the sort of the light settings just for a bit of fun. Oh, hello. That's not going to help. I mean, it's not going to cost me a crazy amount, but yeah, the car just sat up on the curbs there. Did not really do what we wanted it to. The plus point of front-wheel drive is when it starts doing that, you can boot it and it'll sort itself out. You don't really have to worry too much. That was a rear-wheel drive car. I was probably having a very big moment there. Might have been able to catch it. Would depend on the car and everything, but yeah, not ideal. We've lost sort of 0.3 of a second. It's not the worst loss in the world. Oh, I got too late. It's not what I need. Don't need to be doing that. Really don't need to be doing that. No advantage to be gained out there. I should lose a heap of time to Gliska and Ollie doing that one. Just left it too late. Trying to catch the group ahead, and I'm making silly little errors that I don't want to be making. We're better off focusing on being neat and tidy with this car, not overshooting braking zones. Try and get on the power as well as we can. Shadow's Volvo is out a little bit wide. We are also out a little bit wide through there. I think I may have been a smidge early on the brakes this time around. Yeah, we're kind of struggling to make inroads to the group ahead, although if they really do start fighting one another, that would be helpful. In fact, this lot here, these three are fighting each other. The three ahead are having a massive squabble as well. But we have caught nicely this time around. We've had a much better middle of the lap here. Now, not as late on the brakes for them again this time around, and indeed we get the car stopped. We should have some slipstream at least. That will be helpful. That will be helpful in keeping me away from Gliska. That's the main goal at the moment. If we can slipstream up to the back of the cars ahead. Finding a way past is going to be difficult. Oh, Pega with a big slide. We go deep under brakes. That's not the worst thing, because what you can do is kind of go for this late apex and we're straighten the car up a bit sooner, which is actually, in some ways, I think what we want here. Gliska's starting to battle with Ollie, which would help me out if they can slow each other down. We have got closer to this almighty tussle. Problem is I got a bit greedy over there. Whoops. The other problem is that I'm going to find is that we're here, but where on earth do you get past? Because even if I get past them around this section, we're going to, I think, find ourselves outran down the start-finish straight, and yeah, it's going to be a difficult one to work with, but we'll try. We'll do what we can. There's a funny noise from a car, I think. Never mind. We are right on the bumper of the Vauxhall. Gliska and Ollie have really slowed each other down that time around. Fantastic. That is what we were hoping to see. That is what we were wanting to see here. The Civic, Neon, Focus are all having a battle of their own. I was hoping, really hoping, we were going to be able to sneak up the inside of the Vauxhall. That might be where a pass has to come from, is a sort of sneaky manoeuvre. If the Vauxhall leaves the door half open, it's not so easy to pass around this track, certainly around this layout. It is doable, but it is tougher here. As I mean, this whole group is finding the Neon is holding everybody up well, I say it's holding everybody up a little bit. I think they've been chopping and changing who's at the front of this group. No, we're at a smidge wide on our own through there, which doesn't help. Now Longbow's there having a look at the back of the Volvo, nothing really giving. We're trying to see what we can do on the exit. And again, we can get a good exit, and Pega's Alfa Romeo's up there having a little bit of a look around. He's not going to be able to do anything, I don't think, for now. I'm going to guess the Alfa's probably one of the slower cars down the straight, perhaps. Now, what I'm going to try a slightly different line into here. Can we get our car turned and then get on the power sooner? Here, not quite. I mean, I'm looking to try do something different, because I can't make my lap time is gained, but in a place where I can't really pass, like down here, for example. Very difficult to pass through this hotel section. Like, I want to go quicker through this corner, but there's an Astra in the way. How do you pass? The Civic's got to the front of this group. Now, I don't know whether that's got immense straight line speed or not. Not completely sure. We are all going to get backed up down here. We've got one more lap to go to try and find a way past. We have got a great run on the exit to have a look at finding a way past the Astra. I mean, that is where we have been finding time, is with that exit. If we can cut down on the exit, we can make something work. Longbow, you are not going to find a way down there. The one thing I've got for me going, I've got excellent handling. There is not going to be... Yeah, I mean, Longbow was as aggressive as possible. It's the final lap of the race. You're going to be. You're going to have a look down there, but in the end, it was just such a tight angle. It is not going to be a spot that an overtake was really going to be happening. We've got to be aware of Longbow trying a similar manoeuvre on us on this, essentially the final corner. Don't mind if the car gets sliding about a little bit through there. Rusky will mind that the Focus did. The Focus did exactly what I did, only he's lost a little bit more time out there. We are a little bit pinned down the bottom. Can we get off the corner nicely? Again, I haven't got anybody to slipstream behind, but we do exactly the same to Rusky as we did to Longbow. We'll chase them across the wall. They have more acceleration, but it won't matter. We'll steal 6th on the line. Good race. Good race indeed. Christ, I like that car. That was good fun. Yeah, Salika not really in the same league as the rest of us, but a fantastic battle over second place. In the end, it went to the Civic. Grumples held on with the Neon for a very long time, and Pega got the Giulietta, up into 4th ahead of Shadow's Volvo. We had a good race, actually. Good work our way through the field. Sort of pinched 2 places off the off that final corner. Yeah, McGann, good in the corners, not terrible down the straights. We made the most of our car's strengths. For our second race, we have come to the Grand Oak Circuit. A bit better spot on the grid for me this time around. I can't complain too much about this. The McGann gets going pretty well, I have to say. It really does launch itself forward quite nice. It's not got that top speed, but it gets off the line really well. Alfa Romeo leads the way. We're going to use the curb there, sort of like banking on that corner to help turn us. I wanted to try and get past a Clio, could not quite do it through there. Now, I'm not sure. I want to try and sort of cut down across here and carry speed, but we've got a Shadow in the way. We're not going to be able to do it. We might be able to get a run on the 2 cars on our outside, though. That would be something. We may end up going 4 wide down towards this next turn. Ollie's there to go and have a look with the Scirocco. Can I? Well, I can't really maintain momentum because there's a big old Volvo in the way. I wanted to try and hold that move on the outside of Ollie, but it wasn't going to happen. Shadow was on such a tight line, quite slow mid-corner, and I had absolutely nowhere to be going. Shadow might well lose a place to the Scirocco, and I am keen to follow Ollie past. We will move forward, hopefully matching the Scirocco. Now, my bet would be the Volkswagen has got a lot of more straight line speed than me, probably a bit dicier in the corners. That would be my guess. Although it has got quite a lot of aero on it. As you can see, it has a double wing. Maybe it's not that fast down the straight. Here comes the Volvo. Going to have a look into turn 1. Did not want to get involved in a 3 wide through the first corner. Shadow backs out of it and will stay in that position for now. We are racing hard against Ollie. We will cut through there and make up a place. We will move the McGann into 3rd. Can we get a good exit? It's a much nicer line through all of this. Scotty has got to the lead with the Clio, I think it is. They're battling away with the Alfa Romeo. Here comes that Scirocco. So the Scirocco's fast. I think the Scirocco's fast accelerating, but it doesn't quite have the top speed in some places. I guess the aero wall is probably what it hits. Oh, I almost ended up on the gravel through there, which is not what we needed. Here comes that Volvo again to have a look. We're going to go 3 wide. No, possibly not. We're going to try and discourage the Volvo from that one if we can. Oh, Ollie's got a bit deep through that corner. Now, all of this helps Scotty and Absol in front of us. If we are fighting each other, they are getting away. We're going to push the Scirocco out of the final corner. We know we've got a little bit more top end than it, and once we get going, we have got the measure of the Volkswagen. Not by much, but just enough of a top end advantage. Javi's got the Clio coming. Another Renault coming to join the battle. I mean, we've got 3 Renaults up at the front, an Alfa Romeo, an old Volkswagen, and an old Volvo. Well, not too older a Volvo, but still. We will launch ourselves through this first sequence of corners. Now, can we get out of this? This is a turn we need to get out of well. We really need to not have the Scirocco coming past us. I cannot carry... It's getting up this hill. This is the Scirocco's just got the acceleration on us down here that I just cannot match. Which is slightly frustrating, because we're stuck with this battle where I'm faster through half the lap, Ollie's faster through another half of it. Can we go around the outside? Ollie's going to be on a really tight line and we'll struggle for exit speed here. And we will make the pass stick on that Scirocco. Here comes the Volvo. Now, if the Volvo can start bothering Ollie, that would help massively. If the Volvo can start holding up Ollie a little bit, and I can focus on chasing down the leaders with a couple of other cars coming to join us as well at the moment, it may well grow into an even bigger fight here up at the front. Try and get on the power as soon as possible without understeering wide. Scotty's still not really got too far away in the lead of the race. The Scirocco will, at least this time, have a whole load of slipstream from me, although we have got slipstream now from the Alfa Romeo. What will the Volvo try and do? The Volvo is going to want to try and pass Ollie into turn 1. Don't know whether it's going to be able to. I don't know whether the big brick is going to have the grip quite to match that Scirocco. They're fighting side by side, which does help me out. I was trying to cut underneath the Alfa Romeo through there. Couldn't do it quite. Now, I think we've got to be careful of here is if we leave the door open, trying to take a funky line to pass an Alfa Romeo, that's going to happen. The thing that I didn't want to have happen, although it's very difficult to kind of fight against that one, the thing we had to be a little bit wary of did very much happen. This is great news for Scotty in that Clio is if we all fight one another massively here. Oh, I've got such a good run, but the Alfa Romeo got all crossed up and Javi pushed us as well. I mean, unfortunately for us, that's really kind of screwed us a bit. Yeah, we were relying on that outside run a bit, and if a car, unfortunately for us, yeah, if a car gets crossed up in front of us, we suddenly can't use our momentum. It's unlucky for the Alfa Romeo. It's going to lose a heap of places just because there's a whole stack of cars now lying on. I think the Alfa's quite quick down a straight. The FTO I would expect to be very fast down the straights. These things are normally pretty rapid in a straight line. Depends on how Liam has built it, but I'm expecting it to be. We have slipped back to 4th in all of this. It's all kind of quite close together. Dart has come to join in the fun as well. We will let... Oh, I've turned in too late through there. Oh, Shadow hit the curb hard on the inside, and that got them into a little spot of bother through all of that. Can we have a look? Well, what Liam is going to do is run into a gap of Volvo. There's not really a huge amount of space that you can go there. I try to not run Liam out too wide through here. We will at least get, hopefully, a good run up here, a good run on the exit. A couple of laps to go. Can we hold off the FTO? Can we find our way onto the podium somewhere here? Not completely sure. Liam doesn't really want to, and is probably wise. Oh, Ollie with a big slide. You don't really want to go for a pass down the inside there if you can get away with it. You're better off following and go for a pass in a more sensible location because it's an awkward, really awkward corner to pass. If you go for the inside, you're on such a tight line you actually really struggle with the car. You struggle to get off the corner. You struggle to carry any momentum off of the corner. Liam's going to have a look, but there's not going to be room there for an FTO just yet. Scotty continues to lead. He's just got that sort of second gap that is just staying out of the way of the rest of the fighting, squabbling pack of cars. Here comes the FTO again. Is it going to have a look into turn 1? Not, I don't think so. My real concern is not turn 1, it's turn sort of 2 and 3. The FTO having a fire up the inside, which we might try and do to Shadow at some point. Here, Shadow's going to have a look. I can't get there. Shadow's looking at the Scirocco. I can't put my nose alongside. Liam's overshot a little bit with the FTO. We're all changing places. We're all swapping sides. We're all looking for any little advantage we can get. I've got an absolutely wonderful run through there. That is about as good as we can get through that section, but it's not the section I need a good run on. It's not the section we need this on particularly because it's already basically too wide here. We can again be quick through here. We'll try and spur on the Scirocco. If I don't get we're going to lose out to the FTO. So if we don't get a move on, we're just going to get passed by everybody behind as well, although Liam's going to run into the wall of Volvo and Volkswagen. we're going to try and send it around the outside of Liam, because that will keep us on the inside for the final corner. And if we're lucky, or penultimate corner, sorry, we might be able to sneak past a Scirocco as well here. Not quite, but Liam is going to be completely stuck on the outside of this one. The Scirocco just got the acceleration it needed to hold on against us. Longbow's turning up with the dart. I feel like we've been we're a little bit unlucky. Our car is very, very strong here. We might have one of the faster cars here, but in traffic it's quite difficult. And we don't. The problem is that we struggle to overtake in the corners, and we cannot overtake down the straights because we are just not fast. Our lap time is made in the corners, and we are held up a little bit too much. It's been a great race, though. Have thoroughly enjoyed it. Scotty has been watching this amazing battle go on behind, not really been quite a part of it, has made the most of their opportunity, though, at the front. We have fought absolutely crazy over second place. It has changed hands a number of times during this race. Can we do anything about sneaking a McGann onto the podium here at the very end of the race? Volvo versus Scirocco continues to go on. They're still side by side here. Longbow is going to have a look to the inside. I'm not too fussed, because even if you get up the inside there, you're going to be on the outside for the final corner, which is not where you want to be. There is a little gap. Unfortunately for me, everything is quicker than me in a straight line, bar the Scirocco. There is contact between the Volvo and the FTO. We are looking, and oh, there was a little bit of contact again there between us and that FTO. We tried. I was maybe a little bit brave. Just couldn't quite do anything in that. Yeah, there's a lot of speed in that car that I simply couldn't use because of traffic. If we could have broken free of the Scirocco, really, we could have broken free of that, maybe we could have chased down Scotty. Unfortunately, we just couldn't get out of it. But there we go. It's good fun, though. Very, very fun, very manic battle in all of that one. Just, yeah, I'm only lacking a tiny bit of straight line speed, but that is the way it goes. So, there we have it. The McGann was, I expected it to be pretty decent, and it certainly was a competitive car. Yeah, we did lack a little bit of straight line speed. I think the biggest problem with the car is its straight line speed wasn't the normal Alex terrible. The biggest issue I had, certainly at Grand Oak, is I found myself battling multiple cars. And while this thing is alright in a sort of 1v1 battle, it can get past even though it is a little bit slower down a straight. When you've got so many cars around you, it does really, really limit my ability to make lap speed with the McGann. But it's a great vehicle, as expected, really. It's very, very strong for this sort of racing, and I very much enjoyed driving it. It's a very me sort of a car, really. But that is going to be it for this video. If you would like to sign up to take part in the next one of these, you can via our Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Find the versus the community section, and you can register to take part in there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.